My name is Janet, and welcome to the 21-day series, The Healthy Benefits of a Daily Yoga Practice. And each day I address a different health challenge that we face. And today is day 17, and it's all about migraine headaches. And boy, I've had migraine headaches, and if I were having one right now, I would not be able to talk right now. I wouldn't be able to do this video at all. So if you are having a migraine headache, I'm so sorry. I know it hurts. So let's talk about what causes migraine headaches. Somewhat unknown, but some of the things we do know is a migraine headache could be caused by an allergic reaction. My son has that reaction when he drinks milk. But the most common cause of a migraine headache is dehydration. So before we get started in our practice today, I want you to find a comfortable place. Maybe you're in your bedroom, lying in your bed in a dark room. I know that helps me. You might have something to lay over your eyes, a cool wet cloth, a towel. I have a yoga pillow that I'll be using in the practice today. If you're using a yoga mat on the floor, I recommend that you pad it with a blanket, as I've done here. I have essential oil. I find that lavender helps me, so maybe if you have lavender oil or an essential oil that helps you to relax, you might grab that and a glass of water, a few extra blankets. I've got some extra pillows here because the point of the practice is to get as relaxed and comfortable as you possibly can. And maybe you'll even fall asleep and you'll feel better when you wake up. So once you've got all your things together, maybe grab some essential oil. And here I have some lavender oil by doTERRA. It's a really great company, great quality brands of oil. And I'm going to take that essential oil, and I'm going to place it right here, that little spot at the center of my throat, right at the bottom. That feels good. And maybe if my skin isn't overly sensitive, which I'm pretty good with lavender, I'll take a little bit on my fingertips and rub it into my temples. Perhaps you even close your eyes and just feel that gentle massage. Not too hard, be really easy with yourself in this practice. And then I have plenty on my hands. I'm just going to rub my hands together. Maybe you need a little bit more on your palm. And then cup your hands over your nose. Be careful not to get it in your eyes. That would be uncomfortable. And just take a few deep breaths, breathing in the scent of lavender. Lavender oil is said to help us relax. And we want to try to relax as comfortably as possible. So we'll do a few seated stretches if you're comfortable with that. Perhaps you'll grab one of your blankets. I'll go ahead and grab a blanket here. And let's come to seated on a blanket or even a block. You can see I have blocks. And I'm going to take this blanket and fold it over so it's a little bit higher fold and sit toward the front edge of the blanket so that I can relax my hips and I don't have to feel tense in my back. Then go ahead and find perhaps your water and take a little sip of water. And set it aside. And sit up nice and tall with your hands touching your knees or your thighs. Roll your shoulders down and back and then lower your chin gently towards your chest. And as you look down with eyes softly gazing, watch the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and out. When we experience pain in our body, we tend to hold the breath or breathe very shallow, and that's counterproductive to the healing power of your breath. So as you notice your body breathing, see if you can't deepen the rhythm of your breath. And then ever so gently, start to roll your left ear over towards your left shoulder. It's okay to close your eyes here and feel the gentle stretch on the right side of your neck through the shoulder. If you'd like, you can keep your eyes open. You can tell the lighting in here is pretty bright for the video, but if you're in a darkened room, that will absolutely help. Take a couple more breaths here, just easing into the stretch along the right side of your neck. And then gently roll your chin back towards your chest. Take a few breaths here, just watching the gentle, slow rhythm of your breath as your chest rises with every inhale and slowly lowers as the breath flows out. And then ever so slowly roll your right ear toward your right shoulder, choosing maybe eyes open or eyes closed, just noticing the gentle stretch or easy, slow and gentle. It's moving now on the right side, the left side of the neck. And if you are struggling with a migraine headache and you have other people in your home, as I do, and also critters, I have 2 dogs and a cat that sometimes make a cameo appearance in my video, you might decide it's better for you to be alone and not troubled or bothered. So it's okay to ask those beings to just let you be alone. Or perhaps you have a sweet kitty that comforts you when you're not feeling well, and you invite that pet into your bed or onto your yoga mat. Gently lower your chin to your chest. And again, just take a few breaths here, just allowing the gentle, slow rise and fall of your chest to be visible as you mindfully slow down. And then go ahead and lift your chin up, and if it's comfortable for you to do so, keep elevating the chin till it juts upward toward the ceiling. Let your shoulders roll down and back, and just feel the gentle stretch in the neck and the throat. And then slowly bring your head back to neutral. Let's stretch our legs out in front of us, just moving around nice and slow, maybe pointing and flexing your feet as I'm doing here. And then changing the leg position to a bound angle position. The bottoms of your feet touch and your knees fall open. If you feel at all unsteady on your blanket, maybe you take it out from beneath you. And before we get into a stretch, reach over, grab your water, and take another sip of water. Just little sips, doesn't have to be too dramatic or gulping. Give the bottoms of your feet a little massage if you wish. Tending to your feet reminds you to take care of your body. If you're uncertain what's causing your migraine headaches, I know I went right away to the doctor because it was so painful I didn't even know what it was, but it's helpful to keep a food log, to maybe write in a journal. Perhaps it's emotional stress or mental stress that manifests as a terrible migraine headache. Keep track of how much water you're drinking, and along with that, what about things that are diuretic, that remove moisture from the body, like caffeine and alcohol? And maybe those are triggers that you might lighten up on or decide to remove from your diet so that you can feel better and not struggle as much with a migraine headache. Let's take this into a nice easy forward fold, just rounding your forehead down and stretching out your spine. Taking a few breaths here. If you feel at all unstable, maybe your hands move out in front of you and you feel a sense of stability by placing your hands down on the floor or mat in front of you or on your bed. And you allow a nice gentle stretch in the back, and of course you're aware in this position of a deep stretch for your hips. And then let's slowly come back up. And take your legs once again right out in front of you, moving them around. So we're going to continue this easy, gentle stretch, but reclining on our back. And before we do so, you might decide it's helpful for your body to include some props. So if you like to sleep with a pillow under your head, you might take a pillow. You can see I have a couple of them here, and place a pillow down where your head will rest. I recommend that the blanket you're sitting on be set aside, because we're going to use this when we finally get to our complete relaxation posture. I'm going to put this back here so it doesn't block your view, but I'm going to keep it folded up nicely like that. Have maybe your towel, if you don't have an eye pillow, close by within arm's reach. And for me, I have a yoga eye pillow. It's got little seeds or grains of lavender smell in there and something else wonderful in there that's going to put a little pressure on the tops of my eyes. Let's go ahead and see if we can finish the rest of the water before we recline. Take a few sips and hydrate yourself as best you can. Ah, I love that. And then I'm going to take an additional blanket and a pillow to lay beneath my legs. So if this is helpful, you might try it. If it's not, you can always pull those props out of the way. I'll take that blanket and fold it over a little bit more, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add a pillow underneath my legs, but I'm going to add the pillow a little bit later. So if you really want to elevate your legs, have an extra pillow nearby, and you can see where I've placed my props here, right there within arm's reach, so I won't have to sit up or move around too much. And then as you come to lying down, you might, if you're using a blanket or pillow, place it a little bit behind your thighs rather than your calves, and this will help lift your legs. And then come to lying down on your back, nice and slow, take it gentle. And then place your feet beneath your seat, maybe even on your blanket if you like, or a little further out. And toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your yoga mat so that your knees and your feet are kind of separated. And draw your knees together, feeling a gentle stretch or release in the lower back. I recommend placing your hands on your tummy to maintain awareness of your breath. Sometimes the pain is so intense, you just need something to distract your mind to focus on. So with this gentle little release for your hips and your lower back, you just breathe slowly and deeply in and out of your nose. Counting the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale is another way that you can stay present and focused on the breath. So perhaps you would incorporate that little tidbit into your breathing, into your relaxation. And then begin to separate your knees and toe heel your feet more toward each other, all the way together to touch. And then allow your knees to fall open. We were seated in this position a moment ago. Keeping your hands on your tummy. Slow down your breathing. Just noticing if this feels good. Of course, if it doesn't feel good for your hips and your knees, you can choose not to do it. Take a couple more slow breaths here. We're just slowing down, stretching the body, releasing muscular tension in the hips. And maybe it's helpful to place your hands outside of your knees or thighs as you start to draw your knees up. And then bring your knees close to your chest and hug your knees into your chest, getting a little extra stretch for your lower back. Sometimes just holding still is best, especially when you're struggling with a terrible migraine headache. Just hold yourself still here and breathe the extra space, the extra length you're creating in your lower back. While your knees are tucked to your chest, if you'd like to try it, reach down, grab the extra pillow that you have and place it on top of the blanket to elevate your legs a little bit more. And then extend your legs down. Good. Now hopefully nearby you've got a little eye pillow or a towel to place over your eyes. But before you do that, take your extra blanket, place it over your lower abdomen, maybe even your pelvic region. Right there, that little bit of extra pressure or gentle placement is grounding. And it might be really pleasant to feel yourself grounded, and it'll help slow you down. And then grab either your towel and place it over your eyes, or if you have an eye pillow, you might place an eye pillow over your eyes. And if you'd like to get this prop, I'll provide links so that you can increase your yoga props at home. And this really is helpful because what it does is it takes out any extra lighting that might be coming into the room. From there, you can take your hands and place them where they feel most relaxed, maybe on your blanket or opening your palms up. And take this time for yourself to simply relax. And I find that a nice long shavasana, about 10 minutes long, is completely wonderful. And hopefully you're lucky enough to fall asleep. And perhaps every time your mind wanders to the pain in your head, you take in the essence of lavender oil scent or an essential oil you may have used. And you bring your awareness to how your legs are elevated and how that affects any sensation you might have in your lower back. Hopefully it feels like a relief. And then feel the blanket laying across your pelvis and your lower abdomen. And I hope that sensation is grounding, bringing you a sense of peace. And you'll notice the gentle movement of that blanket as you breathe slowly deep down into your lower belly. And you feel your breath flow out nice and slow. Take this time for yourself, for self-healing, for self-care. And when you do decide that it's the right time for you to get up, then drink a little more water. Move nice and slow. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself some extra self-love and self-care. Thank you so much for taking this time with me. I would love to hear your comments if you would let me know if these essence, these movements, breathing, essential oil is helpful and what has helped you. At the end of a practice, we share a word that honors the love and the light within each of us. And I share this with you from my heart to yours. Namaste.